Hi guys, Shanaz here, back with another video. So today's video is going to be a little different. I've been saying that the last few videos that this is going to be a little different. This might be the norm. I was diagnosed with agoraphobia. So if people don't know what that is, you can Google it. No. Okay guys, my diagnosis with agoraphobia came right before the pandemic, which for me, the pandemic, and we're still going through the pandemic, has been almost, honestly, like normal for me. My friends were calling me, how am I making up, how am I holding up, what am I doing? And I was thriving during the pandemic. I was almost like happy that, in a way, not happy about the pandemic, but happy that I was not obligated to go out to, meetings or meet with people or brunches and that sort of thing. Like, it just seemed like the world kind of was now living in my box, and I was okay with that. This makes sense for me though, because even as a child, I remember my mother will tell people, oh, Trinaz doesn't like this, or Trinaz doesn't like that, or she doesn't want to go here, or she doesn't like Mardi Gras, or she doesn't have a lot of friends, or she doesn't. It was always she does it, she does it, she doesn't. And when my psychotherapist, which I will get to next, diagnosed me with agoraphobia, it made sense to me. It's not that I did not like these things. I was just, and still am, kind of afraid to be in settings where I feel like I am not in control. I have to be in control of my setting. And if you're in public, anything can pop off. And you're not in control. So I have created in my head, which I did not know, are like safety spots or safety zones, which is, for me, okay, if I like a place called Union Square. I like to do my shopping in Union Square. I can get everything done in Union Square. And this is because that has become a safety zone for me. It all makes so much sense now. I'm not afraid to go outside. It's just, it does cause some anxiety. It causes a lot of preparedness for me. I schedule everything. Never knew why I did that. I just thought my life needed to be in a certain order, and come to find out, no, that is a part of my agoraphobia. Trying to always, for lack of a better term, find the exit. Like, if I'm at a concert, I need to find the exit in case something happens. I'm always thinking something's going to happen, and I'm enjoying myself, but it's always in the back of my mind something's going to happen, right? So that's why I am seeing a psychotherapist, and I love him. I think he's a tad bit crazy, but I think you have to be a tad bit crazy to see to be a psychotherapist. At first I thought I was seeing a psychologist, and then I go, are you a psychologist? And he's like, no, I'm a therapist. And I was like, oh, I'm really crazy. Because if you don't know, therapists can prescribe you drugs, which they have, and I'm not taking that yet. So yeah. So now it makes, like I said, now it makes perfect sense to me. I remember when I was 30 years old, I had an anxiety attack. Now, I had been having anxiety attacks before, but did not know what they were. I didn't know what an anxiety attack was. I go in the mall because I'm rushing to find something to wear to this last minute wedding. And there were so many people in the mall, and I ran out and I was crying. And the guy who I was dating at the time, I called him up and I said, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And he literally had to talk me through the whole mall situation. At the end of the day, I still did not end up going back into that mall to get what I needed, but I did not know what that was. But now I know it was an anxiety attack, which is why I've always kept my house really comfortable. Any place I've ever lived, I kept really comfortable, really convenient. I've always had everything that I needed in my space because I never wanted to go out. I had no reason to go out. This was a reason why I started YouTube 8-10 years ago, even though I never kept up with it. But my reasoning for starting YouTube was to avoid going out, meeting people, introducing myself to people. I can sit in this little box here and just talk and still be my joyous, fun, loving, carefree self and not have to worry about being out. People don't believe that about me. I think I have found a way to hide it. So I'm not going to get outside and just start shaking and having crazy anxiety. Like that's not going to happen to me. I have found a way to control it. Now, controlling it could be a good and a bad. People who know me, when I discuss this with them, they say, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. It does. It makes perfect sense. But people who don't know me and they see me in a box or they've only spoken with me a few times, they don't understand. They're like, oh, but you're so, you're so nice and you're so sweet and you're so this and you're so that. And I'm like, I get it. And I don't seem crazy is what people say. Like, you don't seem like, I think that's an issue. People put a face to what seems to be crazy or with, or someone that seems to be okay. And it's not the truth. When I was with my husband, we ran a semi-successful, we had things going, a party planning business, right? And people would come over to my house and they would pick up their whatever I was making for them. And I'm actually getting ready to start that business back, hopefully. Wish me luck. So either way, I would make like party favors. Everything was personalized. It was beautiful. Like I had the greater New Orleans, West Bank area locked down when it came to the parties, right? And people would come pick up their stuff and they would go, oh, like you don't look like I visioned you to look. And I'm like, really? Who has time like to be sitting in a house putting paper mache together? Like they just assume that I looked a certain way. But now I know that I ran that type of business within my home because I did not have to go out and be around people like that. I could go get my supplies, come back in and work in my own space, and I was good to go. I didn't have to be around people. I was controlling my domain, right? So when I spoke with my psychotherapist, he asked me, how do I maintain if I visit out of state or go out of the country? And I did have a good answer for that. And again, these things are not like to the forefront of your head because you've been doing them for so long until you don't even like, it's just a part of your everyday life now. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with me because this is how I've been living my life. So either way, he asked me how am I when I visit like friends and family out of state, out of the country. And I said, what happens is I secure a safety zone in my head, right? So if I am staying at a hotel or I'm staying at my mom's house or I'm staying at my sister's house or whomever's house, whatever hotel, wherever I will be staying, that is my safety zone. And I don't venture outside of that safety zone because in my head, in that moment, that has become like my security blanket. So this is what I'm able to control at this moment. So this is where I will stay. I don't travel too far outside of that. Of course, I travel and leave out, but I do not travel far outside of my comfort zone or what he calls the safety zone, which Makes perfect sense. It doesn't matter whom I'm with. I think it actually gets more heightened when I'm with people, because when I'm alone, I'm able to control myself. If I'm hanging with a group of people, or if I'm with my sister or a friend, now I have to take in consideration, them. And they're not dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with. So now I have to take in consideration. I'm sorry, I'm looking down because I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay. So now I have to take in consideration, them. They're not dealing with my issue. They don't need safety zones. When we're at the beach, they want to go travel all around. So for me, it's actually better for me to be a loner. It's with, what people would term it. It's better for me to actually be a loner and do everything alone. I normally do everything alone because it's just comforting to me, because at that moment, I only have to please myself. And when I don't want to be here anymore, I don't have to be here anymore, and I can leave. I guess. So it is easier for me now because I am noticing a change in my behavior, because I have been diagnosed with agoraphobia. And reading on agoraphobia, again, it stretches across the board. And I think for me, I'm kind of somewhere caught in the middle. I'm just in the middle of this. And I don't want it tipping to extreme cases. So I am trying to, take some control of it. And quick story, I have a video on here, and I remember I was trying to do a vlog, and in that vlog I said I had to go home. Now I know that these things are panic attacks. I had no idea. These are just they're panic attacks. So that's why I keep, and I hear people say this a lot, but for me it's the truth. That's why I keep my circle really, really small, so that way I don't have to deal with a whole lot of personalities coming in, and until I'm able to step foot outside and not worry about if something's going to happen to me, or how can I control this situation. I'm working on it. I just want to get the help that I know that I need. Again, I'm not an extreme case, so I don't want people to think oh my gosh, she's no, I am not extreme case. I think for me, like I said, I am somewhere in the middle, but knowing now makes me feel better. Knowing now and reading upon this particular condition and seeing where I am with this condition, I feel better. I feel better. Just like if you go to the doctor, you don't know what's wrong with you. Why am I sick? Why am I sick? Why am I sick? Now, you might not like your diagnosis, but at least you know why you're sick, and now you can start working and healing toward getting better. And for me, that's what I feel like I'm doing. So it's been a blessing for me to find out. I joke about it now, when someone says oh, let's do this, I say, oh, I have agoraphobia, so I have to be very cautious. And I say this because I want people to know, but I want them to understand. I want them to understand, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer when I go out with you. I'm not trying to disrupt your mood. It's just a condition that I have that I'm working on. And I'm glad I found out during this pandemic, because it did ease me a lot. So when people were calling me, asking me, how am I so happy about this? And I'm not happy about the pandemic, but about staying inside. And, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Oh my God, I'm going crazy. And it's yeah, I'm chilling. Yeah, I don't have to go anywhere. No one's forcing me to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do your brunch. Everything was perfect for me. All right. So guys, if you have any more questions about this, I know it's just a quick ramble, but I did want to get that out there. Mental health is such a huge part of your health, period. Mental health is the biggest part of your health. See a psychotherapist. See someone that you can just speak with and not feel like you're being judged. We speak about an array of things, but mainly it's just this portion of my life, and I'm happy for the diagnosis. And yeah, all right guys, enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.